So I have not been closely involved with the last few IPOs. Last IPO I did was as a banker was Alibaba. But from my perspective, last few IPOs, the way they worked, it seems like epic level of incompetency from the bankers. I think when the market gets really busy, a lot of the times bankers get really focused on chasing deals and client management as opposed to doing their job. So clearly they failed. And as a result, I think we're having this conversation and a lot of people are losing confidence on the IPO process. I don't think the system is broken. I think people who are working on it could do much better job. I think, this is not the first time we saw, deal that is highly sought after. Alibaba was a very highly sought after deals as well.
Wow. Did you just say epic level of incompetency from bankers and, some of the
failure like that? It just, clearly somebody was not focusing on what's going on the client mindset.
At the same time, Imran, there's, a new cohort of investors in the market particularly over the last year or so, the retail or Robinhood investor, whatever you want to call it. Does that give them some leeway? I mean, how do you price something when supply is so much lower than the incredible demand that we're seeing right now for these new names?
But isn't that the job of a banker, to really understand the market? Why are you getting paid 5 to 6% if you can't figure that out?
Yeah, that's a good point. Imran.
Right?
So, I wonder,
that you're not good at.
How, though, are we supposed to gauge whether these things are well priced? Is the retail investor always the authority? So should we take the size of that first day pop and say, oh, boy, well, that's the amount that the bankers got it wrong? Or is it more over, a series of months or a series of days where we determine where the price settles out? What's the fair way to do it?
Yeah, look, I think IPO itself, it doesn't mean anything for a company, right? It's just a snapshot, and that's how you debut. And then over time, you perform and you become a more established company. But, I think the key thing is, there is, I would say, reasonable outcome, plus minus. But when the stock doubles for a very high large cap, market cap company, clearly something didn't work right here. And these are not the names that nobody ever heard of. These are pretty well-established names. People know that. So I think, again, I'm not close to the situation. I was not involved in one way or other with all those caveats. But, I did some work in the past as a banker. It felt like process could have been run better.
You've been a banker. You're an entrepreneur right now. A lot of people are getting religion now around traditional IPOs versus SPACs versus direct listings. Do you have a strong feeling about which you would do with Verishop?
I think it's too early to say. I'm really focused on, like this morning, we launched a really awesome
I'm not asking you when you're going to IPO or anything like that. What I'm asking is, do you have a strong feeling about process? And maybe the answer is no. You don't have. You might do an IPO if it's run right.
I think it depends on where your company is and what you're trying to achieve. I think they're all three very good, viable process, to be honest with you. But depending on the company, different one is better. Some companies IPOs is better. Some companies SPAC will be better. So I don't think there is you can say that one is better than other.
Imran, since you've been on both sides of this, you've led an IPO as a banker. You were also at Snap when they went public. What advice would you give potentially then to companies now like a Roblox that's looking at an IPO but doesn't want what happened at Airbnb and DoorDash to happen to them? Is there anything that they can do on the company side when they're doing their roadshow or talking to their bankers leading up to the debut?
Look, I think one of the things that I think the Alibaba team did really good job during their process, they have been engaged with the investors very early on, right? So by developing a dialogue, I think it's really boils down to, are you getting the feedback from the market, that how market is thinking about your company? And if you're really 100% relying on intermediaries getting that information, sometimes, things just breaks, and that makes things very, very tricky.
Imran, let's also get to the Verishop news this morning. You guys rolling out social group shopping. I just wonder, how do you guys plan on competing with the likes of Instagram, which is testing out more and more features and already has the relationship with brands through its advertising?
Yeah, it's different so many ways, right? So I think if you look at Instagram, it's really one-way communication. You have an influencers is telling you what to buy. Here, this is for close friends. You can get on with your friends, your family members, and connect with each other and shop different products. The second thing with a lot of the social media, it's like one brand or one group is pushing kind of product. Here, you can shop the entire catalog of Verishop. We now have almost 70,000 different products on our platform that you can shop from. And then the third, we're built on best-in-class e-commerce experience, right? So it's a single cart. You don't have to check out from 5 different brands. We guarantee you the best price, free return, 24/7 customer support, all the greatest thing that you get from a best-in-class e-commerce experience, you get. So I think one of the things that we are doing on Verishop is that we're combining the best of social and best of commerce under one roof.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.